Hey guys, it's coming at you with another video. I'm so excited to be back. Now I know it took a little bit of time, but I've been busy. I had a lecture at the university that kind of took a lot of time of mine, and as you guys know, I'm trying to become a professor, so I'm split all over the place. I'm feeling a lot of blessings because I'm getting the opportunity to present at multiple lectures for multiple different professors as well as some conferences potentially in my state of Michigan. So I'm excited, but I'm stretched a little thin. So I'm gonna go back to you guys as fast as I normally would. That's why, because I also started a full-time job. But good news is we've had 20 people pass within the last time since I uploaded a video. So that's exciting. I'm blessed that you guys are utilizing my style, my videos, tutoring, study groups, free study groups, everything, man. I'm so excited. I'm blessed. I can't say it enough. It touches my heart every time somebody emails me and's like, man, I passed the exam. This is my third time, fourth time. Even people saying it's their fifth time and they're like, man, it didn't make sense. I was watching all these different programs. I was doing all of these different things. And then I watched your style and it resonated with me a lot. So this video is going to be a little different than normal. So I'll read off the names, go over a couple of themes that I'm seeing. People not actually thinking they can pass the exam when they're full capable. So let's get into it, guys. So here are the following people that have passed: Sanchez S, Tiffany M, Rhonda W, Tamla P, Mamish, Daphne P, Amanda K, Therese W, Paulie D, Tanika J, Betty E, Nicole W, Lindsay M, Asha G, Trey Grant, KL, Shalonda L, Renita D, Stacy J, and Damika H. So that is who has passed. So I'm going to try something a little different and then see how it works out. Yeah, so let's see. Whoop. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. So then, whoop. And then, yeah. So that, I'm going to try having a little cam in the little corner and then the Word document up. Okay, perfect. So the transition worked. All right, awesome. So as you guys know, I do offer individual tutoring. My email is berda24@gmail.com if you have any questions or want information on that. And at this time, I'm booked out like a week and a half to 2 weeks due to Easter. I'm taking it off, spending it with my family. So I'm excited to actually get to spend time with them because they don't see me enough. And as you guys know, they're super duper important to me. So the next study groups are Freudian Theory, 428, Code of Ethics, 5.5, 5.12, Community Interventions, which will include community organizing, case management, and advocacy, Research Program Development and Program Evaluation, and then Group and Family Treatment. And those are all from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. I just put that down, guys. Those that rock with me know that does mean like 10:30. So don't let them be fooled. Because I do the materials, go over questions, and then have a question and answer that you guys can directly connect with me, ask me questions like I do during the free study group. But a lot of people don't ask questions in these paid study groups. So if that's the way that you can actually have a lot of people like listen to you, but not a lot of people engage themselves. So yeah. And to get information for that, my email is berda24@gmail.com. And I'm also thinking of doing something new, maybe like compiling a listserv so that even though you don't attend the study groups or maybe you missed a video and you still want to get information on the study groups, I'm thinking of compiling a list of emails of people so that way we have that, and that way you never miss out on anything. Even though you guys rock with me heavy, it's easy to miss, or maybe you get busy and that email could just ploop, pop up, tell you that the groups and stuff are happening, and then go from there. So yeah, a lot of things that I'm starting to hear and see from people is I have failed, and I don't think that I should either stay in the field, 2, should not like stay studying for this exam, or 3, I didn't expect this to happen. So my first suggestion in regards to this, and I'm just going to be typing this out for my visual people, but my auditory people, we're holding you down as well. So the first thing that we have to be prepared for is prepare to fail. And that is not to say that we walk into this exam wanting to fail, but we have to prepare our minds for this. Because a lot of people that I interact with, I hear, they'll say, Phil, in college I was killing it. I got a 4.0. I never got anything wrong. I've never failed in my life. I do things right the first time, always. And that is good. Awesome. But it's also bad. Sets you up for when this exam hits you. It hits you hard. It hits you like you have never been hit before. So when you prepare to fail, the blow doesn't feel as bad if it does happen. But it also keeps that sense of hunger in your mind of like, this is a possibility for me. And I need to remember that I need to tailor this specifically to me, but I am also not going to be perfect at doing this. So when you prepare to fail, it sets you up. It sets you up to be realistic. So be realistic on like, what is the capabilities? Like there's a 50% shot, either pass or fail, but a lot of people think it's a little more like 70-30, like 70% I'm going to pass because my past track record says so. We can't base our successes or our experiences or anything like that off of previous experiences. Why? It's dangerous. Like for me, for example, before I do every video, I have to reset my mind and say, this could be the last video that you ever do, Phil. Like, we have people following you right now, but what if this video doesn't do well and then people don't like it anymore? So I prepare my mind like it's the first video and the last video every single time. I'm realistic with it and saying like, we have some people that are rocking with us heavy, but I also have to be prepared for it not to. But that doesn't say that I think that I'm not going to. I just in my mind am realistic and say this is a capability and we have to stay sharp and trust ourselves, because if not, this is going to happen anyway. So if we don't entertain the notion of failing or even normalize failing, there are more people that fail than we think. So when we do fail, we start to sink down. And why do we start sinking down? Because we compare ourselves to others. Like, the only reason that you feel low when you fail is because you expected to pass, or people around you are passing. We see it all of the time. I interact with people because I'm a part of some Facebook groups. I have it in my study groups, and people say, Phil, I failed and I don't know, I don't want to tell anybody. And I say, why not? And they're like, well, everyone I know has passed it the first time. Okay. But that doesn't mean that you're less than, or that your experience isn't valid, or that you shouldn't push through, or you weren't different, because being different is good. Honestly. Like, because it means that you're adding something to you and you have something to learn from that journey, and you shouldn't like put yourself in like thresholds of what you think you should be doing, because then it robs you of the experiences you could be gaining from the past experiences or anything you go through. But that's the thing, is when we compare ourselves to others, we take from ours. We take from our superpowers. And if you don't have your superpowers, you're not going to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. So like, it sounds like super easy, but a lot of people think, I can't pass this exam because I didn't do it the first time. And my friend did it and we were studying, and I'm not going to tell them that I failed because then they'll think I'm less than. Or this over here is killing me and I can't handle it either. Like, trust yourself. Like, trust your process and your abilities. Like, honestly, like a lot of people, after they fail the exam, they feel like they can't do anything. They're like, phew, that didn't go how I thought it was going to go, so I need to scrap the whole model and redo everything, which isn't the case. Like, when you fail the exam, my first question to everybody that tells me that they failed is, what was your experience? Like what little bit in the prep didn't go well, and how can we polish that up? We don't have to throw the entire diamond away. We just have to make it shiny enough to look what you want it to look like. You don't have to make it look like mine. You don't have to make it look like somebody that you know. You don't have to look like somebody over here, because that wasn't your capabilities. Like, no one asked me what my score on the exam was, but people love flexing on the scores that other people got. They're like, or my score. They'll flex on the score that they got when they failed, and it's like, man, I got this, so I'm not ready. Or they'll take the practice exam and be like, man, this is the score I got. Am I ready or am I not? It's not the scores that we need to be worried about. It's the preparation and the techniques and the insides that are going to help you explode and do what you need to do on the outside, which is pass this exam. So it's not an inability. It's the fact that things didn't go right, and the analysis and the lens that people are looking through are not entirely through the best-hearted actions or the view. If you fail the exam and view it negatively, the result afterwards is going to be negative. You fail the exam, have a positive lens or a positive view on it, and there's going to be positive results afterwards. It's simply going to enhance and improve your situation, the way that you treat yourself after things don't go well. Which leads me to the third is like, and this is the unspoken, honestly, is the anxiety of like actually being success. So like having success. So more or less being like anxious of success. Meaning we work so hard and we put ourselves through excruciating things, or we do things, we prep, we claw our way through it, but once the exam bout hits, we're anxious. We're like, oh my gosh, what if I do pass and then I can't get it? Or I get into the exam room, I do my techniques and it doesn't work. So it's not like we're afraid that we can't do it. It's afraid of what happens when we do it. So that's something we have to peel back and tell ourselves, like, I can do this regardless of what anxiety is telling me, because I've worked X amount of time towards it. Like, there are people that I've interacted with and they tell me, Phil, I've been studying for 3 hours every single day for the last 9 months. And I'm like, woof. That's a lot of time. What did you get out of that time? Because that is 270 hours. So what did you get out of that? Like, what did you get out of those 270 hours? And the person will say, I can't remember anything. Okay. Why? And they're like, well, I don't think I can actually do this, or I'm missing this small detail over here, so my entire prep is off, or I need to spend an extra week on this or do this over here. So it is a huge thing that we're seeing, is when we work so hard, we claw, we believe in ourselves, we're doing it, we're energized, we're hyped up, we're believing in it, and then once the opportunity is in front of our face, we're like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can actually do this. I need to reschedule, or I need to get out of here. I can't handle this. I can't believe I am even doing this. Am I even capable? Yes, you are. You're more powerful than you actually think, and this is what we need to do. We need to get this thing rolling and tell ourselves in every single day, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And even when we don't feel like you can do it, challenge yourself and say, why not? Why am I not able to do this? And what has changed from the previous day? Like, what has changed in my life that has made me start doubting myself about this opportunity because I've worked so hard for it? Because that's the thing, is a lot of people will tell themselves, I can't do this. For how long? Because a lot of people, with time and a little effort and a little bit of clarification, you can do anything. Honestly. Like, those who've been rocking me for a long time know I did not know anything about this YouTube thing, my study groups. I didn't know the software. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. But with time, asking questions and being kind to myself and saying, I can do this. I can do this. And even when I couldn't think I could do it, I reached out to people, the positive people. I had people looking out for me and saying, man, you can totally do this. Or somebody comes at me and is like, you're just doing it for the money, or you're just doing it for this, or you're trying to exploit people, or you're trying to do that. And then I remind myself, they're just projecting from their negative experience onto me and trying to drag that experience down. When the reality is we've helped like 155 people pass this exam within the last 8 months. Like, that is that person just trying to project and destroy, but we can't let the small details kill the big picture. So focus, believe that you can actually do it, and actually when you're doing it, compliment yourself like, wow, I'm doing a really good job. I answered that question well. Or wow, I got this question wrong. Let's not beat up on myself. Let's just look at it and say, okay, what did I miss? And what can I do to not miss details in the future? Because it doesn't matter what the answer was to the question. It matters how you break it down, develop a routine, and follow through on it. So there's major things that people do that I interact with and work with, why they pass. And you can do these things, but it's not like a 100% thing. So the way that we do this is, one, have a routine. Pretty blatant and like simple, but it's like, no, when you have clarification, anxiety dies. So this is going to be like prep, how long, how many hours, with who, where, when. Knowing these things makes it easier for you to say, I can totally do this, rather than, I totally can't. I don't know what this is going to happen. So when you know, and then of course, morning of, like, how will I get there? When? What is the process? And if this is your first time, reach out to somebody that's taken it before and say, what was the process of actually getting into the exam? Because those that know, you're going to have to hand in your sheet. You're going to have to give them the ID. You're going to have to get your palm prints done. You're going to have to get your picture taken. You're going to be stripped of all your things and throw them into a locker, and you only get to hold your license and the locker key, and then sit in the chair with the social work like contract thing with the license and the key waiting for your turn. They'll pick you up, move everyone in a line like cattle. You sit in the room. Everyone around you is already like doing different exams. You can pick up the headphones or not. There's going to be a whiteboard with a marker, and all of those things you have, like, be prepared. Like, be prepared. Like, a lot of people aren't prepared. Like, I interacted with a young lady, and she was like, Bill, I was getting ready to write down everything that I remembered on the whiteboard. The proctor stopped me and said, erase that. You can't. That's cheating. And it threw her whole prep off. She was like, I didn't anticipate that. And then I just got anxious and then started second guessing myself, and the exam was over. Even before she started, I was like, anticipate the roadblocks. Like, anticipate and adapt. So, like, I tell people, like, I'm as transparent as I can get about the exam. This is what's going to happen. Be prepared. Tell yourself when you're going to take breaks. If you need 15-second mental break throughout the exam, take it. If you want to physically get up and get out of the room, take it. But know that at the end of the day, it has to be revolved around what works best for you. It doesn't matter what happened to my neighbor. Doesn't matter what happened to my friend. Doesn't matter what happened to me. It matters what happens to you, because your experience is unique to you, and you need to own it and hone it in and polish and reflect and say, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, what doesn't work for me, I'm just going to throw out to the side because I don't need that, because I'm built for success, not for that person's success, because I don't need that, because I'm not going to compare myself to someone else's situation, because I'm unique, I'm powerful, I have a mission, I have a destiny. I'm not caring what other people are going to say about what I'm doing, because they're not going to be in the exam with me taking my exam. They're not going to be dictating my actions, because my actions lead to my results, which leads to my future. And if people are going to tag along with that, go with it. But if not, you need to stay focused and hone in on your opportunities and your mission. Because people love to pour gas onto your fire, but when it doesn't breed heat like they want it to, they'll walk away, and then you'll burn entirely out. So you need to be fueling your own fire, or sticking around people that are cores, that are going to be with you, whether you pass, whether you fail, whether you stumble, whether you fall. You need to be doing these things with the right people and have the right people around you, because there are people that are saying that they're there for you, but they're just trying to get something out of you or benefit themselves in some way. Honestly, this is why it's important for you to recognize what you need and what you don't need. And having a routine and identifying what works best for you is important, which is the fifth. Know your worth. And with worth comes wealth. And with wealth, you need the knowledge, you need support, and you need the foundation with that. So knowing your worth is basically saying what is the benefit to you? Like, what benefits you and what takes away from you. Because if you're not pouring into your worth or what you need, you're devaluing yourself and making your prep less than it could be. So let's say I have a ton of materials and I'm pulling from them all. I'm just, and I feel like I am being productive. But that begs the question, it's the productivity rather than being productive. People love this now in this day and age. We'll do 100 things at one time, do them at mediocre levels, and then say we were productive. That's why it's important to know, if you're going to study 3 hours a day, make sure you're retaining all 3 hours. Because if not, it'd be better off if you did 1 hour, retained it, then moved on the next day, cut your responsibilities by 2/3, and then you have more time for yourself. You can actually fuel yourself back up and actually take care of yourself during this prep, rather than let it take away from you and run you down. So by the time you get to the exam, you are useless. Like, I had somebody reach out to me and say, Phil, I failed the exam. Okay, what was your experience? Well, I had a headache. I woke up at 5 a.m. I had to drive there and I was anxious. And then I was barely conscious during the exam. Okay. Sounds like you weren't in your best form. So you were following the steps, but you weren't doing what was specifically entitled and designated for you. Like, you took a ton of tips from everything over here, but you forgot to do the number one, which is take care of yourself. Because a lot of people, including myself, when I was prepping, I cut everything off. And those that have been rocking with me know this. I was studying when I was eating. I was studying in between clients. I was studying in the gym. I was studying when I was using the bathroom. I was studying before bed. I was studying when I was sleeping. I was studying around the clock. But that is best short term, not long term. But a lot of people are finding reasons to be anxious and let anxiety tell them, you need to do this for long term. You need to do this for a long period of time. Which, if that's not what you need, then don't do it. Like, take care of yourself and make this prep actually fun. Like, most people I interact with on a one-on-one basis, I challenge them to do at least one nice thing for themselves every single week. Why? Because it gives you a better chance of being in the best possible shape that you could be in, as well as it makes it so that you don't feel like it's a chore. And that's how a lot of people will burn out, is they do things and they think like it's a chore. Like, they think, oh my God, I have to study for the exam, but I don't want to, but this is important to me. Is it really important if you have to drag your hoofs and then say, nope, studying again? No, make it exciting and be like, yes, this is the next opportunity that's going to propel me and my family and everything where I need to go. I'm excited. I'm fired up. I believe in this. I love this. And that's why whenever you guys are like, man, Phil, it seems like you're never without energy. And it's because I love doing this. I love interacting with you guys. I love helping people. And I remember where I started. And like, when you remember where you start and what you can lose, you will never be demotivated. And that's like, you're not going to feel like energized all the time, but you're going to remember, and it's going to spark you up and excite you and say, yes, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, and this is exactly where I want to go. And You just have to believe at the end and know what works for you. And then that is basically what a lot of people have just been saying. So like the easiest thing to do is tailor this to you. Watch out for who's trying to watch out for you. And then find what works. Like this is a stressful process that not a lot of people actually discuss because we just feel like we have to be on top of things all 100% of the time. But that's not the truth. You don't have to be on top of everything all of the time. You just have to be on top of your things that you feel are important at that given moment. And yeah, so if you like the video, hit the little thumbs up button, boop, and it just helps me to stay, like, know that you guys like these kinds of videos, and comment any feedback. And subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm planning to do a free study group, and if you're not subscribed, you won't get the email notification. So hit subscribe, click the bell next to it, you'll get that email. Just a little fun fact for y'all. You didn't, you don't have to be like, whoa. But yeah, so if that's of interest to you, and again, if you're interested in tutoring, send me an email at berda24@gmail.com. And if you're interested in any of these study groups, 428, 40 in theory, 55 Code of Ethics, 512 Community Interventions, 519 Research Program Evaluation, Program Development, and 526 Group and Family Treatment, those again are on Sundays, 7 to 9, likely to go until 10 or 10:30. Just saying. Reach out to me, berda24@gmail.com. And if you want to get on that listserv and think it's a good idea, send me an email at berda24@gmail.com and I'll add you so that way we don't have anyone missing any details. And guys, my push to you, reflect on all the blessings that you have currently and write them down. And when you feel demotivated, flip that out, read it, notice, wow, I am blessed, and you can do this. So trust yourself, and the rest will follow. And I'm going to read you guys a quote that I actually have on my whiteboard over there, and I wouldn't move the computer because I mess it up every time. But it states, worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows, but it strips you of your strength today. Do not worry about what's to come. Face what's here today and your strength will stay. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. I cannot say it enough. I appreciate you guys. And if you guys need anything, let me know. If not, have a nice Easter with your guys' family. Take care, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!